These are the creepiest stories ever shared on the Joe Rogan podcast.
In episode 2033 with Matt Rife, Joe Rogan unpacks real ghost hunts, eerie encounters, and unexplained chills.
Are you a big ghost guy?
I believe it's possible.
I'm obsessed.
Are you?
So really weird side hobby of mine, I go ghost hunting. I've been like around the world.
Wow.
Yeah, it's incredible.
What have you experienced? Have you ever had like an absolute moment when you're like, oh my God, I'm in the presence of a poltergeist?
Still not 1,000%. I've definitely witnessed things that I cannot for the life of me explain that have creeped me out. The timing has been impeccable. I've seen things move that there's just no fucking way that they've moved. I've gotten answers back on EVPs, but for me, it is one of those things I do need to see it.
Isn't an EVP like a radio though?
No, EVP is just a recorder.
It's a recorder. What's that radio thing? I'm sorry then. What is the one where they like listen?
There's a bunch of different names.
My daughter's heavily into this shit.
What does she watch?
Heavily. Sam and Colby.
You had them on, right?
Yes.
So
Great guys.
So I met these other guys. There's another channel called the Overnight Channel who are equally as popular as Sam and Colby, and they actually used to work together. And I believe they split off and each do their own thing. But that's who I started going with. So I'm very familiar with those guys.
So these kids, the Sam and Colby guys just went into the Conjuring House.
I was just there, maybe a month and a half ago.
You went into the Conjuring House
by
too?
myself, Joe.
Okay. Do you believe that there's something going on in that house? The Conjuring movies are fucking great.
It's my favorite franchise.
They're fun. And there's so many of them. They really did it right. Like, if you want to be smart, they branched off with The Nun. They branched off with Annabelle.
And I love the way they tie in the story from each one to make it all one chronological story. It's genius.
Yeah.
I will say I wasn't as scared as I've been in a lot of places we've been. There is some kind of solace to the house, but you get to know the history of it, and it does make sense that there would be something here. I mean, it's on some ley lines of water underground. There was wars fought there. There's apparently bodies buried on the property in the walls of the property structures and stuff. There's a lot of history that goes into it that just makes for kind of the perfect storm for some creepy shit. But I didn't witness anything that was that insane. Some items moved. Some cars rolled off of the children's dressers a couple of times on cue. And that's the one thing I do pride ourselves in these videos is so often we get absolutely nothing because we don't fake anything. So you only get to see the highlights. Like, there's so many times we'll go to a place that is so notoriously haunted and we'll be there for 10 hours and get absolutely nothing. And it sucks, but that makes when something does happen that much more valuable. It's so much more impressive.
What do you think? So do you think a ghost is like the soul of a person that's left behind? Or do you think the ghost is almost like space and time because of a horrible incident contain a memory? And like that memory is almost like it like shows up in current time sometimes. There's a guy named Rupert Sheldrake. I forget what his field of study is, but he had this theory about things, and he believes that objects contain memories.
Oh, interesting.
And he's not the only one that has
inanimate objects?
Yeah, that things contain memories. And this is one of the reasons why, like, people kind of universally support this idea that if someone was murdered in a house, you must inform the people that are about to buy it. You have to tell them, hey, somebody got murdered in this house. Like, maybe you don't want to buy this house.
Now,
maybe you should think about it.
Does the potential owner have to ask that information?
It's a good question.
I'd want to know.
Yeah, I think it's a good question. I think they should have to inform you because there's something about someone being murdered in a spot that freaks us out. And this is my question. How you knew the conjured house was haunted, right? So you go there with this feeling and this expectation. That's what I always wonder about these things. Like how much of this isn't just imagining things. This is like the mind itself seems to have some unmeasured effect on the world.
Yeah.
I think the way you think has an unmeasured effect in terms of like this. There's energy that you put out. There's connections you make with people. They're very, very unmeasured.
And you can manifest your own perception of things for sure.
Yeah. So what my concern is like if you go into a place with a pre-existing knowledge of ghosts, like you think ghosts are here, you think ghosts are real, you have this thought in your mind that you maybe experience a ghost in this place that's haunted. You're at this elevated level of anticipation. You're probably really nervous and kind of freaked out, and your imagination starts firing up. And I'm not even saying that these people are lying or that they're seeing things that aren't there. I'm saying maybe you make things show up. Maybe you see memories. Maybe you experience some horrible energy that existed in this spot 50 years ago, 100 years ago, that there's like ways you can tune into that.
I could see that being possible, but to me, that's what's so exciting about it is like you go hoping for those solidified answers. You're going hoping to witness something that you couldn't have possibly made up.
But you know why I think that? Too is like you never see him in the daytime. Ghosts don't exist on the street.
Sometimes.
Yeah, but not outside.
They're never outside. That's a very good point.
That's my point, is like you're always trapped. So you're always in this like weird space. Like if you had a wolf in your house, you'd be freaked out. You'd want to get outside.
Yeah.
Right? You don't want a wolf in the there's a fucking wolf in the house.
Yeah.
Anytime you're in a contained area, your brain has this heightened sense of like being trapped and awareness and how to escape. I mean, every horror movie's the same. When you got to get to the door, right? Everybody's trying to fumble with the keys and the monster's chasing them and they get it just in time, right? That is a reoccurring theme in the human mind. If you're trapped in a fucking house with a killer or a ghost or a wolf, it's scary.
You know where that makes the most sense? We did the USS Hornet up in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
And we had the whole ship to ourselves, which I was so excited about because I love military stuff. I love history. I was so excited to go there and just witness it. And they sent me by myself on basically a game of hide and seek where I had to go find them in the ship somewhere after I had to count to 100 by myself. It was the most terrifying place I've ever been because if you've never been in like the bowel of a ship, it's so unfamiliar. Like doorways don't look the same. You have to step over them and everything. There's so many pipes and everything sticking out. It's such an unfamiliar environment, especially in the dark. It's terrifying. You think I can't possibly run away from something in here. There's too many obstacles. You don't know if that's a wall or a pipe or something peeking around to like look at you. It's fucking terrifying because of exactly that. You feel so trapped.
Episode number 1293. Joe Rogan and Andrew Santino dissect ghost adventures, fake evidence, and paranormal TV hype.
You know
those Storage Wars shows? I guess some of them they fake.
Yeah, they do. They set them up.
They load up the storage and they go,
So
I can't believe we found a World War II helmet.
It's Elvis's underwear. Whoa.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah, they used to be real. Actually, a few of them were very real. And then they got caught online. A bunch of people online were calling them out, being like, "This is bullshit. This is fake. I saw them setting it up." Like, they got caught. But
if they're gonna do that, they should find magic in there and shit. They should find, you should have like Storage Wars where they go in there and they find a leprechaun.
Yeah.
And the leprechaun makes one of them
eunuch.
disappear. One person disappears and they have a genie in a lamp and
that would be worth it.
Treat me like I'm really stupid.
Have you ever watched the show Ghost Hunters? Do you know or Ghost Adventures?
God, yes.
Do you know this guy?
Which guy? Zach Baggins?
Zach Baggins. Do you know this guy?
I do not know him personally.
Oh, man. He makes me laugh so fucking hard because they've done like 9 seasons now. I don't even know how many they've done.
Have they found any ghosts?
Come on, man. They have all this great technology now that's improved.
Do you think that he believes in ghosts?
Here's the best part.
Okay.
He is all in, right? I love anybody that's all in whatever they're doing.
You kind of have to be if you're the host of Ghost Adventure.
But also now he's super self-aware of their popularity and of his caricature of himself. So he does it now on purpose. He took off his shirt one episode and he goes, "You want to fucking fight me, Ghost? Let's fucking go, dude. Toe up. Throw a fucking punch." You're like, he's aware of his character that is this bro-y ghost fist fighter. This dude.
Is Brendan Schaub on that?
Yeah, Schaub.
Schaub's on an episode? Look at him. He looks like he just got back from a Shane Carwin sparring session. Like, what?
Yeah, he's still in the fight. He's still out of it.
Is Zach with the beard? No,
Zach is that dude right there. Right. So Zach wears Ed Hardy type of shirts, right? He wears these loud, ridiculously patterned shirts.
Right.
But you got to see it. Do a more newer episode. Do something from like 2019, 18. You'll see what he looks like now. He's gotten way more fucking jacked. His hair is all flaked up. He's got like more tanner on and shit. he's become.
Do you think that
he's
he
become
believes,
super self-aware?
Do you think that he believes in ghosts?
No, I think he's just self-aware of the product he's created.
Really?
That he understands
Is that
now.
that's a challenge. I see the next Whiskey Ginger podcast. You,
Me and
sitting
Zach
down
Big.
with Zach
So that's him right
Baggins.
there, right? Like now he's like Hollywood. He looks like a Hollywood guy. Like he's got these big black frame glasses.
Isn't that funny? Like he can't look any better. You're not allowing him to have better style. You're like,
No.
he went Hollywood. This
can't.
guy. You're
I
so
can't.
Chicago. It's fucking guy.
Look at
He
his
went
fucking Hollywood
Look at him
fuck.
with his spiky hair. He went Hollywood. The fuck.
I'll tell you, that's the one thing I know I won't do is like
Hollywood?
I'll never get to a place when I'll be wearing clothes where I used to make fun of them like that. Like I remember going, this guy's wearing a fucking $900 t-shirt. I know now I can't do that. Like I can't do that now because I used to shit on it so much.
Yeah, you have to mind by the rules of your own mocking.
Well, if I pushed it out there for so long,
What's that? He's got a nice hat.
that's him. Yeah, it looks
You
good,
don't like
right?
his hat, Jamie?
Is that your
what
buddy?
Are you trying to say?
The most recent photo I could find.
Jamie, that's
okay.
you. Do I zoom in real quick?
I thought you were trying to say something.
Is it,
Handsome fella.
cute guy, Jamie. I want you to grow your facial hair just like that.
Do you really think? Do you really think he doesn't believe in ghosts?
I think he does not believe in ghosts. I think he loves the paranormal, right? He loves the idea of the paranormal.
What does that mean?
I think he loves the idea of forces at nature happening, molecules, energies around us, all influencing the way we act. Sure. I don't think he believes in actual apparitions or what do they call them? Spirits on his EVP. We felt the spirit. They'll do this thing where they'll see a little orb or a light. This happens all the time with cameras when you switch to night vision and not. These little flecks of dust kind of reflect light off the lenses. And he'll go, it's an orb. And they'll, watch it float through the lens. And he is obsessed about these orbs. They enter the orb. And he does this voiceover shit. You gotta watch the fucking show. I get high and I watch it. It's maybe one of my favorite things.
Jamie, you're a photographer. What's the scientific explanation for those little balls that show up in photographs? What is it?
I don't have the knowledge for that, but it could be explained in lots of different ways. It's mostly probably like a light flare of some kind. Just because there's just like
or
in this lens.
ghosts. Well, now I'm a believer. You stammered through that so badly.
Yeah,
I've
just the-
become
Dude,
a
you
believer.
did a terrible fucking
I
job
don't know the
selling that.
photography science, but like in this lens here, there's like 5 different pieces of glass. So there's just at whatever angle you're holding it, depending on where the light source is coming from,
Right.
it might create an artifact, which would be a little
Right.
circle.
So
There you go.
if you're dealing with a really nice camera like that one, but what about like with one of them bullshit, one of those zip and shoot ones?
Then they're using
those
less.
make that
Yeah.
noise.
That's like less. There's why there would be something on that is probably because it's less good. It has
less
less. Not the right word, but less technology in there. I don't know. I can't explain it honestly. I'm trying to, but I can't.
We should Google it because orb lovers right now are freaking out. My God, they are angels. They're in front of you, and you refuse to see their gift.
Anytime an orb passes near a human, he'll go, watch Joe's reaction as the orb goes behind his head. Yeah, and you change your eyes.
Feel it. I
Your
felt
eyes will
it.
change.
It was amazing.
You don't believe in fucking ghosts, do you?
Bro, I believe in everything.
You don't believe in ghosts.
I'm all in with everything now.
Fuck that.
Bigfoot.
Backscatter. is what it's
Fuck
called.
up.
What's that?
Here you go.
Backscatter.
Backscatter. The artifact can result from the backscatter or retro-reflection of light from airborne solid particles such as dust or
what I said.
pollen, or liquid droplets, especially rain or mist. Can also be caused by foreign material within the camera's lens. So these dots are blurred images of dust particles. M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong should make a movie. And in that movie...
And it should be called
I should
Backscatter.
not call him that anymore. That's really rude.
Is it though? It's kind of funny.
M. Night, it's Shyamalan. That's his fucking name.
Shamalama.
I'll turn on you. Turn on
Yeah, you started it, you fucking put it on me.
Bro, what are you, racist? What's wrong with you, man? He makes some good goddamn movies. The guy, he takes some crazy risks, but I love The Sixth Sense. That was a great fucking
Come on,
movie.
I love The Village. People didn't like that.
I didn't see, I thought The Village, the end of it, I was like, what about planes? Like, what?
They
Come
don't
on.
they don't
Get
show
the
any
fuck
planes
out of it.
going
You know
over.
how big it would have to be
Yeah.
to avoid all the planes?
Well, they'd have to be in a
And
super
never see
remote
a
place.
plane? How
Think about
fucking
it. There's got to be
remote?
places where no
But
planes
they're
fly.
not remote because they made it out to the road. And then instantly they got to the road and people were like, hey, get in
Hey.
the car. Like, what?
Yeah,
a
what?
car? What is this?
Yeah.
I live in the 1800s.
They're like St. Louis
Yeah.
is like right there.
You know what I like though? Is Ghost. No, Devil. The one was in the elevator.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it was good.
That was good.
It's good.
Well, he takes chances.
He takes
That's
a
what I
shot.
like.
Episode number 2405,
Joe Rogan, Louis J. Gomez, and Big J. Okerson uncovered the chilling real murders behind the Amityville legend.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
You don't want to buy a drug dealer's car.
No.
You don't want to live in his house after they repossess it. Like, no.
Would you live in a murder house for a good deal, though?
I almost bought a murder house.
Yeah, I know.
I had put in an offer. It was accepted, and I pulled out at the last minute. It was
You promised to keep it alive and murder your...
It was a 300-year-old house. That was why I ended up not buying it. It was like, and there was a judge who lived in it, put a guy in prison, and when the guy got out of prison, he murdered the judge and his wife in the house. And they didn't tell me when I first toured it, and then I did the research on it, and I thought it was cool. Like, I didn't give a shit at all. I thought it was just like a fun story. Having ghosts.
What year was this?
Why does the one
Like
bathroom
250
have
years ago.
blood coming out of the faucet?
Is that what you
Something like
said?
that.
250 years ago? Oh, okay, that doesn't count.
Yeah.
I'll live in that house.
Yeah, but that's how ghosts. You want those ghosts.
That's an old ghost.
Old timey ghosts
Yeah.
with chains and like a fucking
Yeah. Woo, that's fine. I don't want them new ghosts.
contemporary ghosts,
The
drug
new
dealer ghosts.
The ones that throw you downstairs and kill you, choke you
Slam
with
at
their
your
pussy.
doors.
I
Yeah.
can live in the on the property of murder, but not in the structure.
Bedroom. Oh,
Not
what?
the
Like if
structure.
murder happened on a manor in the English countryside.
No,
And,
just like that happened in a house, and then the house was like demolished. Like you
Okay.
can go,
What
they
if it
did-
happened in the woodshed, like Ed Gein style?
That's weird. Too. Well, in Long Island, they finally did, I think not long ago, like finally demolished the Amityville house.
Oh,
The
really?
Amityville horror house. Like finally, just like someone bought the property and was like, just take it down.
What is the whole deal with the Amityville horror? What was the true story about that?
Monsters and ghosts. What do you mean?
But I know
The devil
the
was in an
movie,
Amityville, New York.
But
Oh,
there
what are you
was
asking?
what was the story?
Sometimes
Like,
a man's
what
got to kill his
supposed-
family.
Did the guy
because of a
actually
ghost.
kill his family?
Well,
though?
the Conjuring, right? That was their story, right? Like they were the ones who discovered the Amityville horror house. The couple from the Conjuring.
Right, but what was the story about the Amityville horror? Did the
A father that went nuts killed his family with an axe.
is that what it was?
I think so.
The real story
I believe so.
about the actual house itself. I know
Shining.
that was the movie, but I never knew if that was the actual story itself.
It's got a thing. I mean,
Because there's so many of those movies back in the 80s and shit. Like, they would just make up a history, and you would never be able to Google it.
Well, they
Oh,
say it's a
yeah.
true story. Like Weapons, the beginning of Weapons, they were like, "This is a true story." It's like, is it though?
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Was
if
there
I
a
was
witch
lying.
that came and possessed a bunch of children, and they all?
Okay, here it is. He was American mass murderer who was tried and convicted of the 1974 killings of his father, mother, 2 brothers, and 2 sisters in Amityville, New York. His name is Ronald Joseph DeFeo Jr. He was found guilty of 6 counts of second-degree murder and was sentenced to 25 to life. DeFeo died in March of 2021. The case inspired the book and film versions of the Amityville Horror.
there it is. It's 112 Ocean Avenue.
And so did he kill him with an axe? Shot him. Shot and killed 6 members of his family at their home.
It is
He
funny.
could have just been a piece of shit. The devil didn't have to have anything to do with that.
I know. That is something funny when there's sequels to something that is initially supposed to have actually happened.
Right. Then you just start making shit up.
Yeah, exactly.
That is kind of funny. That's a very good point.
Ed Gein 2, Electric Boogaloo. This is redemption arc.
DeFeo claiming he had no memory of killing his family, so they mounted a affirmative defense of insanity. Insanity plea was supported by the psychiatrist for the defense. Daniel Schwartz, the psychiatrist for the prosecution, Dr. Harold Zolan, maintained that although DeFeo was a user of heroin and LSD, he had antisocial personality disorder and was aware of his actions at the time of his crime. Interesting.
Heroin and LSD. Unregulated.
Interesting. Yeah, unregulated. That's it. That's the problem. You got it from the cartel. So that was based on a true story. But, all the demon shit in there, they just add that.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of weird that
Possession
you're allowed to
shit.
do that after someone's dead. You can just make up a bunch of stuff.
Sensationalize it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what Ed Gein's show just did.
Right, but this is like you're making up a thing where this guy is possessed by demons, which is why he's killing everybody.
You
he
give
could
him
have
like an out.
Yeah. Yeah, and
know,
not
it's-
only that, you turn it into a horror movie that has the supernatural in it. Ed Gein, that show was about what he really did. Like, he really did take people's skin off. He
The
really,
grave robbing and
Yeah.
and stuff like that was definitely like the
And
real
he
story.
did make furniture out of people's skin.
Yeah.
Like all that stuff was insane.
Yeah, the shows took a lot of like liberties with like rumors and shit, but it
Oh,
was
like him wearing dresses and jacking off? And stuff
no, like
that?
some of the murders, like he was never connected to all the murders that he did on the show. Like there was sort of like rumors, like none of it, like even the where he killed his brother. I guess
he was mostly a grave robber was his thing.
Yeah, he didn't. It was sort of like they kind of put two and two together, and they just said he murdered his brother, but that was never proven.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw that part in the movie, and I was like, And I did look it up, and it did say that they weren't sure. They said he died of asphyxiation from the smoke.
Yeah.
You know, but then they noticed that he had
a bruise, but they
in the
said he
back
could
of
have.
his head.
When he fell, he could have hit his head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It could have. You know, who knows? But he definitely killed a few people, at least, right?
I think he was only charged with two.
Yeah.
Only two?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, serial killer.
Come on.
Come on.
The craziest one was Henry Lee Lucas. Do you ever see that movie, Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer?
Yeah.
It's based on Henry Lee Lucas. Him and this dude, they traveled across the country together, and he killed, like, they don't even know how many people he killed. But then the problem with that guy is he also seems crazy. So then cops could bring him, what about this one? Illinois, 1972, Betty Lee Harris. I killed her, definitely.
Sure, why
I
not?
remember her. And so then they could chalk stuff off, like that they solved cases. And so they'll get a lot of these guys that are basically just fucking losers, that are, you know, probably strung out on meth, kill a few people, kill people for thrills in a gas station and stuff, like kind of like what the movie implied. But then you give them credit for like 100 deaths.
Episode 1922. Sam Golbach and Colby Brock reveal why Robert the Doll is feared as more haunted than Annabelle.
Have you ever heard of Annabelle?
Yes.
So Annabelle is a
The movie?
movie franchise. It's based
Yeah.
on a real doll. So the real doll is like apparently the second most haunted in the world, and Robert is the number one most haunted in the world. And so
Robert's more haunted than Annabelle?
apparently that's what people say.
When's he getting his movie?
Exactly. He's got plenty
Is
of
that what it
movies
looks
about
like?
him.
He's just got a plain face?
He needs better
blurred
agents.
it.
Look on.
Blurred it?
Yeah.
We blurred it.
We blurred it for purposes, but if you
Why?
want to just Google image
Why'd
it,
you
Because
blur
it's because you're not supposed to take pictures or film it. That's like the biggest no-no. And we're obviously there filming a YouTube video. And funny enough, like going back to Zach
Show it,
Bacon's,
Jamie.
It's creepy looking.
Oh,
if
that
you
looks
stare
like a little
Peggy in the eyes, like you get cursed. And so it's the same thing with this doll.
Oh.
And so we blurred it for like our fans.
So your fans don't get cursed?
Yeah,
Are we
like
getting
through a
cursed right
screen.
now?
I think
We
you might
could
get
be.
cursed.
What the fuck, Jamie? Don't curse me.
Do you want me to show it on the show?
We
Look it
can
up
all
yourself.
die.
No, what's interesting is like obviously there's all those stories, whatever. So what really gets us is when people have like their own personal experiences that they come and talk about. What we didn't realize is how many people had experiences with the doll.
Yeah.
They calculated to more than 10,000 people have written in apology letters to Robert to ask for forgiveness because of the curse that he put on them. 10,000 individuals. Like maybe even if 50% of those are bullshit, there are 5,000 people out there that genuinely believe they have been cursed by this doll by taking a picture of it.
Including Ozzy Osbourne.
What? Ozzy wrote a letter?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it wasn't a letter.
Sorry.
On his
his
show?
Parkinson's. I think he has Parkinson's right now, I believe.
Right.
And he blames that on Robert the Doll because the story is there's like a big like touristy shop at the end and he bought like one of the little Robert the Doll plushies and like put it in a microwave and like was making fun of it and stuff and then claims that he got Parkinson's because of that. So
Well, a lot of people get Parkinson's without that. Ozzy Osbourne
Right.
blames Year of Hell on Haunted Doll. Holy shit. Look at him. Oh my God. The Black Sabbath rocker was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease last year and underwent spinal surgery following a fall at his home. Makes the claim that his family's new reality TV show, I guess it should have said. The Osbournes want to believe. The show sees his son, Jack, 34, trying to persuade Ozzy, 71, mom, Sharon, 68, and sister Kelly, 35, to believe in the paranormal, including ghosts, UFOs, fairies, and werewolves. One episode sees Jack produce a doll named Robert that he reveals is the original doll that inspired the Chucky horror movie franchise. Jack says so the actual story of Robert the Doll is that it's cursed by the spirit of his owner. If you disrespect him, make fun of him, take a picture without asking, or even handle him, you'll be cursed and terrible things will begin to happen in your life. Well, fuck that doll.
Yeah.
No, I don't need that doll in my life.
No, thank you. But that's why we blurred his face.
Right. So
on
you
screen.
were in the presence of this doll.
Yeah. So
And what is it like to be around this doll?
it's definitely weird because like we've been in a lot of haunted places, but it's different when you're dealing with a haunted object because it's not like the building and the vibe we're in is haunted. It's more like this specific thing that's in front of me.
And what is the story behind this doll? Like, why is it supposedly haunted?
So this guy it's like a 3.5 foot tall doll. It's like a life size type of doll. It's really weird. He gave it to his son, and the son's name was Robert Otto.
It was like Gene Robert Otto.
Gene Robert Otto, or Robert Gene Otto, and he gave his first name and his clothes to this doll. And so the kid and the doll became best friends for years and years and years. And he basically embodied this guy and just became Robert himself. But over the course of his childhood and all the way up until I think he left his parents' house to go to college, he would have horrible things happen to him because of this doll. And this doll was allegedly taken from like Germany at this the shop, the company.
It was like it was called the Steiff,
Steiff.
the same company that created like the original teddy bear.
Yeah.
Created this doll.
So from the original teddy bear company, he brought this doll from Germany to give this guy in Florida, and throughout his entire childhood, like things will like chairs would be moved, like all these horrible bad luck things would happen. Like he would almost. Like to the parents, it would seem like he was arguing with someone in the room, and they'd hear two voices. And then when the parents would run into the room, it was just him and the doll. And
Which
so
is
like,
creepy
what's
because the
going on?
parents would say that they heard like their little kid's voice and then like an older, deep, like man's voice
Oh, Christ.
talking back and forth. And apparently that was Robert. But the big theory about Robert is that he was also one of these like egregore in an object sort of like, I don't know, creatures, I guess, puppets, I guess you could say, because Gene would always blame everything that he did wrong on the doll. So, like, if he would, like, if, you know, furniture would be, like, all around his room or whatever, his parents would come try to ground him, he'd be like, no, Robert did it. And so all that negativity going towards this doll for his entire life, like, is why people believe that it has, like, evil to it. Like, it manifested this evil.
Episode number 1351. Dan Aykroyd shares his unforgettable ghost encounter inside Mama Cass's famously haunted home.
Yeah, no, I love them. Absolutely. Yeah, how about motorcycles?
I don't fuck with them. I was
Yeah.
about to get one. I had took a bunch of lessons, and I was going for my license, and then two friends wiped out.
Well,
Yeah, and got pretty significant accidents. And one guy that I know got hit by a car by an old man who ran a red light and T-boned him and sent him flying through the air and snapped his femur.
no, that would turn you off. I've been riding since I was 19, and
You ride in L.A.?
I can ride anywhere, but I prefer to ride in the country up north in Canada. You know, where I'm living.
Is that where you live these
part-time.
days?
Half and half here, half there, kind of. You know,
LA
a
and
little more in the States because of the travel with the band and that. But I'm there with my dad in Canada a lot, and we have the old family farm, but with the haunted farmhouse, and I've got
Is
a
it
book
haunted?
for you. Well, let me say that there's residual energy from the people who've lived there in the past. So you hear footsteps and voices and creaks and doors closing and that, and many people have had experiences in it. So
There's a
Michael,
reason
come
why
on.
people don't want to live in a house where people were murdered.
No one was killed in that farmhouse, but
Right, but-
many people passed there.
But
and-
even that weirds people out. But absolutely, if you have a house where people were murdered, and this is why there's laws, you have to
I
divulge.
did. I had to divulge.
Did you?
It wasn't because of a murder, but when I sold our house in Los Angeles, we lived in Mama Cass's old estate on Woodrow Wilson Drive, and we sold it to Beverly D'Angelo, and she's been on the Celebrity Ghost Show talking about the spirits that were in that house.
What happens?
Jewelry will hop around on the table, shapes will be seen, you'll feel a touch in the shoulder, that kind of thing. The staff felt it. And I had an experience one night where something got into bed with me. I was alone. I don't know what went on there, but I just figured,
Sexually?
well, it might.
A little bit. You fucked a ghost?
I think I was being come on to there, but anyway,
Next, this is a
that
YouTube clip. Right
that house,
now, Dan Aykroyd fucked a ghost.
Well, or it did try to come on to me, and I didn't refuse its.
You resisted?
Wanton. You know what? I just snuggled up next to it and went to sleep.
You spooned with it.
I did. I felt a shape. I looked and saw the depression. I saw the depression in the mattress, and I felt a shape, something next to me, like felt a form next to me, and
Were you hammered?
I nuggled. No, not that night. I was working on a picture and went to bed early. But I was alone in the house.
You're laying alone in bed, and you're working on a film. What
I'm
film
lying
was
there.
it? What film was it?
It was something that I'd been working down at Universal. I don't know, maybe Dragnet or something like that.
Okay, so you're working on Dragnet. You're lying in bed, and then there's like a weight next to you.
I feel a weight next to me. I turn and I look.
Like a person is laying in bed.
I saw the depression. There were two, yes, and there were two spirits that might have been there. Maybe Mama Cass herself, although she died in London. And then there was another guy that apparently, a rumor was he died of a drug overdose at a party, and they buried him in the hillside. Oh. And my daughter saw him walking with a little red-haired girl down the hall once, and we think that he might have been there. But anyway, when we sold the house to Beverly, there was a right in the California real estate document that we had to sign. By law, you have to divulge any unusual activity in the house. So I had to sign a clause in there that said yes at the beginning of our tenure in the house we did have experience. Yeah. So she bought the house anyway. She's still there. She's very happy.
So you had to sign papers that said you had unusual activity.
If you sell a house in California, you will look in every real estate contract. There will be a clause that you must report
unusual
activity. So that is a state recognized.
What if you do acid in your house?
What's that?
What if you do acid in the house?
Well,
I'm going to tell you about some unusual activity.
Well, that's unusual activity that you're doing. That's not external. But the California, just that the state of California requires that in their real estate documents. It's pretty compelling evidence that there's something going on there.
Or compelling evidence that people are paranoid and they want people to
I think we can
protect
accept
them against
that ghosts and spirits also have reality. I think.
You think so?
I believe so.
So tell me about this thing. You're laying down in bed, so you're about to go to sleep.
I'm about to go to sleep, and
working
I feel,
on Dragnet, everything's good.
And I feel this depression. I feel this something. And
are you asleep yet?
Not asleep. No. I just turned out the light, and I look and I see this depression, and then I go, well, what am I going to do about this? Am I going to leap up screaming? No. I rolled over and I just kind of snuggled up against it and went to sleep. And I slept like a baby. So sleep. There's a scene in the Ghostbusters movie where I'm lying down in an old fort, and then this ghost hovers over me, and in the director's cut, I think the belt comes off and the pants come down. I think.
Whoa.
Yeah, so sex with ghosts.
You didn't get nervous?
I may have been so tired. I may have been so resolved and resigned. I thought, you know what? There's no point in panicking. There it is. Yeah.
Ghostbusters bedroom scene.
There we go. Oh, yeah. Okay, jeez.
Look, you handsome devil back there. Oh, is that good? Yeah, pants.
Yeah. There you have it.
So that's you. You just accept it.
Yes, that's right. I just accepted it.
That's the way to go, man. I mean, why fight it? It's spiritual.
It's true.
So, did you smell it?
No smell. Just
you
the sense
felt the weight.
Felt the weight and saw the depression, and then when
did you feel anything on your body?
I did.
You feel
I felt a form. Yes, I did.
Form.
I felt a form next to me when I snuggled up next to it.
You didn't push away?
I did not.
Did you push against?
I actually kind of wanted to see what it felt like, if there was something there, and I did feel something there.
Did it feel feminine or masculine?
It felt masculine, hard.
Oh, you were cuddling with a dude. Like a dead biker, maybe.
I don't know. Maybe it was the guy who died in the hillside. I don't know.
Could be.
I
just wanted friendship. They say
male or female.
They say in the old days, men used to just sleep together. They would just actually sleep. Like not
well,
like
there's Ed Davis and Abraham Lincoln were partners, and they were law partners, and they slept in the same bed many times when they were on the road. Yeah.
Well, it's probably cold as fuck back then, and it was hard to keep the room
in that
heated.
part of the world. Yeah.
Yeah, just have a couple blankets and you stay heated together. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So when you woke up in the morning, did you feel refreshed or violated?
I had slept beautifully. I woke up and
maybe better than ever.
Pretty good, yeah. And I told some people about the experience, and there were people that worked in the house and that were there, and then that that lived and that knew there was something going on, but
They knew
nothing quite vivid.
you and a ghost had something happening?
After I told them, yeah.
So they knew something was going on.
Well, because they'd hear the Stairmaster going by itself.
The exercise? The ghost exercise?
It apparently, yeah, and a hand on the shoulder. Then the sighting my daughter had. Then, other little things like jewelry dancing on the table. We knew something was going on in that house, yeah.
Oh. So you're 100% in on ghosts.
I am.
Episode number 2020. Python Cowboy recounts the night he stumbled onto a full satanic ritual site.
Since 1965, there's only been 175 unsolved cases involving deaths and murders.
Okay.
That's just the bodies. But that's like deaths and murders.
Well,
I would imagine that would be a good place to drop off a body.
That's kind of what I was going to say. Is it's a very good place to go hide stuff. I've found vehicles that were used in crimes dumped out there. I've found dogs from dog fights that were dumped out there. I've found animals that have just been dumped. I've found very intricate and mind-blowing satanic rituals and sacrifices out there.
What?
Oh yeah. So I was, which I found different stuff before. I'll find maybe where someone was doing some voodoo, some Santeria, sacrificed a chicken, whatever. All that's like kind of normal out there. That's not that crazy. But what I found this night was very crazy. Yeah, the police came and investigated it. It made the news. And that's the facility I was hunting. It's Aerojet. It's actually an abandoned space rocket facility from the Cold War, where they were developing and testing space rockets.
And what were you hunting there?
Pythons. I was out there, hunting these snakes, and this facility is you need special access. I was given special access by the state of Florida to remove pythons from out there. And nobody can just go back out there, but people do go out there, as you can see from the graffiti and different stuff like that, usually to do stuff that they're not supposed to do. There's a lot of crimes committed out there. There've been murders out there, gang initiations, all kind of stuff.
So they have a pentagram that's...
So, yeah, it's a whole thing. So we go out there. The first thing I came across was a big rock pile with a upside-down wooden cross on top, and a bunch of red spray-painted upside-down crosses all over. And you could tell the cross, I think, was burnt a little bit. And it wasn't, crazy, super crazy. It was like, oh, this is new. This wasn't out here a few days ago. And then I found this little doll. And as I kind of investigated that doll more, a little red scarlet snake actually came up and wrapped around her neck. And I picked up there it is. I picked up the scarlet snake, and which, it was kind of weird that there's a live snake, a red snake on this doll. And I've caught a lot of snakes in my life, and that is the only one that was bleeding out of its anus. There was blood coming out of its beehole, which, I don't know why, who knows what. It was a little weird to me. And then the night just kind of gets weirder from there. You see the red lettering in the other clip. It was a big Latin saying, like 100 foot long pretty much, on the road. I drove over it. We later translated it to, turn around, run, hide, he is watching you. Go further into the complex, and there's these big abandoned buildings. I go into the building, still just python hunting. Like, who knows what these kids are doing out here. I thought it was strange, the Latin. Your average kid just messing around don't know Latin sayings like that. And then I come to this big room where there's the big pentagram. In the middle of the pentagram, there is a three-legged plastic chair with a blood stain in the bottom of it, where you could tell something was killed, sacrificed, whatever. On each wall, there's 3 walls. On each wall, there's upside-down crosses, Latin sayings, and all kinds of stuff. As I'm kind of walking into the room, which, I don't want to sound like a psycho or anything, but that doll from earlier grabbed my leg. I don't know if I kicked it, I didn't see it, or what, But that doll from the rock pile somewhere else, I don't know if it was another doll or what. I never seen that other doll. I kick it. It seemed like it grabbed me. It's that same doll from earlier. Same thing with the cross on its forehead, the one eye cocked over, the other eye messed up. And so, you know, it's very, very weird to me. Kind of like scared me.
So
right next.
It wasn't there, and then it was there. So
I didn't notice it. I didn't notice
you
it.
didn't carry it over there.
No, I didn't touch it.
So did anybody else? Was anybody else with you?
I had 2 guys with me that didn't even want to get out of the truck when they seen the first thing. They stayed in the truck.
So the same
They
doll
didn't
that
touch
you saw
anything.
on the rock pile somehow made its way to where you were?
Yep. I don't know if it's a duplicate doll or what, but it's same.
Was there more than one of those dolls?
Only doll I seen. Only doll I seen. I'm not big on the whole supernatural thing, so I'm real doubtful of it in the first place. But to me, it was the same doll from earlier. I did not see it until it hit my foot. Right next to that doll, there is a saying on the ground that says, "The omen will follow," which to me was like the creepiest thing of the whole thing. Was like, you know, that if you interact with any of this spirit's going to follow you. Which I'm Christian, I believe in God, and I wasn't worried. You know, I know the good Lord has my back. But very strange, right? Very strange. As we go through, there's all kind of different stuff. In one of the rooms, there's a sleeping bag with something inside of it. I don't think it was a body, anything like that. Police went out there, investigated it. I didn't investigate further past that. Something was inside the sleeping bag, and on the walls there was, looked like red spray paint. And it said, she was only 9. We gave her to the devil. Like basically talking about sacrificing a child. And then you have this little girl's gown that's nailed to the wall with like a dark red stain on it.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
And what was the investigation? Did you follow up and find out what they found out?
I never heard anything from it. I'm assuming they never found much from it because I never heard anything from it.
Did they know it was human blood that was in the chair?
I don't know.
Or on the...
I don't know. I would like to think it's red spray paint, but I don't know. I don't know. For the sake of the story, who knows what it was?
Yeah.
So, you know, we continue on with our hunt. We end up starting to get out of there. The guys are like, dude, we want to go. We don't like this shit. I'm like, all right, you know, let's pack it up. Let's go. So we start making our way out, and I see flashlights. I mean, there's one road in, one road out. There's a gate at the end of it. You can't drive a vehicle in. And I mean, we're miles out here. You have to drive miles to then walk miles, right? So I see this flashlight bouncing on the side of the road as I'm driving out. And I'm like, who the fuck is this? No, I've never seen anyone out here in my life, ever. Getting closer to him. I have my pistol in my truck. I put my pistol on my lap, you know, just in case. As I'm getting closer, about to kind of pass the guy's like, Mike. It's my name. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm definitely shooting this guy. Like, what the fuck, you know? And he's like, I love your Instagram. I was like,
Episode number 2185 with Bob Gimlin, Joe Rogan dives into ghosts, memories of violence, and reality's blurred edges.
What do you think about ghosts?
Episode number 1922 with Sam and Colby. Their first Queen Mary encounter that turned skeptics into true believers.
So tell me about the Queen Mary. That's the beginning for you guys.
That's the number one origin.
And you went there to do what?
So what was really interesting is we did a lot of the abandoned stuff, but every once in a while we would do like a haunted thing because those creepy stories and, you know, the lore of everything is really interesting, whether or not you believe in it or not. At that time, we didn't really believe in any of the ghost stuff. We're like, all right, but this is going to be a great video because everyone loves telling the stories. But we just got, I don't know what it was, but someone forwarded us something saying that for the first time in 30 years, the Queen Mary in Long Beach, which is like one of the most haunted ships, like New York Times like top 10 most haunted places in the world.
We filmed Fear Factor there once.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay.
It's
Back
a
in the-
beautiful ship.
They do a comedy show there sometimes.
No way.
Didn't know
Yeah,
that
for a
either.
while they had a regular comedy night there on the Queen Mary.
Yeah, I didn't realize how like famous it was, but they have that. They have like haunted houses. They have a ton of different attractions there. But there's this one room, B340, that hadn't been open for 30 years, and allegedly they closed it down because there's multiple unexplained murders and or suicides in that room. And we're like, whoa, like, you know, if this is the first week this is open after 30 years, this is going to be an amazing like story to tell or, you know, video to film. And so we went in there trying to make something or like trying to get something. We obviously didn't really believe in that much, so we were like, all right, let's just see if it happens. If there's going to be a haunted location, it will be this. We toured around, did the whole thing, weren't getting much, and we were kind of frustrated at that point because we're like, all right, this is supposed to be the cream of the crop. This is supposed to be the big wig. Like, why can't we get something to happen? And so it was 4 o'clock in the morning at this time. We've been trying for hours of just sitting in circles, like asking out.
And
saying,
we didn't
like,
have
okay.
any equipment at this time. This is like the first place we ever went to, so we were just like meandering like the hallways, being like, "Is anything here?"
Yeah, like just trying to
seeing if
get something to
anything
happen
Right.
on camera, and nothing was happening. And so we're like, fine, I guess. Let's do this. Let's just like leave. Like it's fun to tell the story. Let's just leave. And so we turn off the camera, start packing up. We start walking towards the door, and as soon as we we're about to like get out of the room, the faucet turns on like full blast for 4 seconds, and then turns back off. And we all like actually like, you know, freeze and freak out. 2 of our roommates that were there at the time like just immediately started like crying. We ran in. We were like, okay, how is that actually possible at all? Maybe that's a sign of like, it doesn't want to be filmed and it doesn't want us to leave. So maybe let's just not film this and try one more time just for the heck of it. And so that's what we did. But this time it worked. And to like the weirdest extent, we just like put away all of our cameras. We sat in the most serious tone saying like, okay guys, like before this didn't really believe, so like if this is happening, let's have something happen. And so we all sit in the dark together and we start calling out questions. And we're like, okay, like, is there anybody here? And we hear a knock. And so we're like, okay, maybe that's something.
Very faint though. It was like a tap.
Like a tap. And so we're like, okay, let's just run with that. Can you tap more than once? And there was like 3 taps. We're like, okay, this is really weird. Like, can we start asking questions?
And how loud are you saying this? Like, is it possible that someone could have heard you from another room?
That's what we thought. So going, like, we were talking probably like this, but then there was times where we talk like really quiet. And like, we tested everything. But so what we did is we decided, let's ask questions using these taps. So we said, tap once for yes, tap anything more than once for no. We had a yes or no conversation for 35 minutes with something that we cannot explain. Mm-hmm. And we did everything because we were skeptical at this point.
Did you film any of this?
We didn't think so. But apparently, one of our friends who's like super religious was like, hey, no matter what, the entire night, he was keeping an audio recording in his pocket.
We had no idea.
We had no idea that he was doing that.
So nobody talked about it. So if there was something there, it didn't know either.
Yeah, we had no idea he had pulled that out. Like, we genuinely were like, okay, no one's filming. We even say in this audio recording, like, no one's filming. Like, this no bullshit. Like, everyone, please, like, be serious about this. And so we had this conversation back and forth, and we tried to trick it. You know, like, we would ask questions in different manners. Like, okay, is there more than one of you? Yes. And then we'd say, are you alone? And it would say no. Back and forth, trying to get this thing. And the story kept straight the entire time. Mm-hmm. And we were like, okay, come on, there could be someone like screwing with us. This is like on, you know, the news of being like haunted place.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
Well, what was crazy about it too is all the knocks, they weren't just coming from one section. That would make sense if like maybe something outside was like tapping. These knocks would be like below us and then above us to our sides. Some would be louder than other ones. We went out to the hallway a couple times and we realized that we were like the last room besides like this like utility room to our left. And obviously we had like basically that whole like floor to ourselves as well since it was super late.
Yeah, and then like sometime in the middle we were like okay, like let's like ask a question under our breath.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like this thing does not want us to leave. And at that moment the entire floor shook. Boom. Like, we were like, oh my God, what was that? Was
you
something
could feel the vibration in your feet.
crashing on the ship or something? It was huge. And so we're like, okay, so this thing doesn't want us to leave. And maybe we should just, like ask questions under our breath for the rest of the time, just so we know it's not some employee, it's not someone like screwing with us the entire time. So fast forward to the very end, we were like, okay, we've had a bunch of conversations. At this point, we really believe if this is truly something, I want to know something about something deeper than just yes or no questions, or just like something silly of like how many people are here. So I decided, let's ask about religion. And I ask out, is there a heaven? And it knocks 3 times, meaning no. And at that point, our 2 religious friends that were there like immediately jumped up and said, we have to leave right now.
And we had no idea why.
Why? What's going on? Like, I'll tell you in the car, like, dude, like, just don't look back. Let's go. Let's leave. And so we walked out. We left. We got all the way to the car without anyone saying anything. And as soon as we got in the car, we're like, what's going on? Like, why do we have to leave? He's like, well, in the Christian religion, anything like demonic or evil is supposed to, like, basically disprove that there is a heaven in order, you know. And so what they were saying is like, we don't think this is some like spirit or something paranormal there. We think it was something that was trying to lead you away from heaven or Christianity.
Demonic territory type thing. But that also just depends on what you believe in. Obviously, like our roommates were very, very Christian, very religious. And so when they heard the knocks saying no, they thought it was just kind of like a sign from like a demon to like steer us away from God, saying like this does not exist. And so they without question ran before we could even, like, we kind of were wanting to stay there to ask more things.
It was really interesting
because this is your first experience with anything paranormal.
Well, first very believable one. There has been plenty of times where we hear things or like, you know, things are scary.
In like the abandoned places, but they're also decrepit old places that creak and stuff.
Yeah, old dark places make you freak out.
Exactly. This is the first conversation, we should say, that we've had.
So up until that point, did you believe in ghosts before? And like what is the feeling like when you have to sort of process the end of that day?
So that was a monumental change in not only like our career, but also like our at least my like thought process in life, because yes, I had the idea that maybe something else is out there. Like I had grown up a Christian, but at that time we'd gone to so many scary places. We'd you know, tackled a bunch of like life questions, philosophical questions throughout our time together, and we're like, okay, like after asking about it, like for me, I was like losing like faith in something else. I was like, okay, maybe we're just the only things out here. And after that moment, I had like a full-on like breakdown the next day. I was like, everything that I had thought was not real now becomes real, and I had like pretty much lost any sort of like faith at that point. But there is even a video of me online like sitting on my bedroom floor like crying to camera, saying like I truly didn't believe, and now this instance opens up this whole world. Like maybe I don't immediately believe 100%, but the question of if there's something else out there is now back in my brain, and I want to chase that. And so after the whole arrest and going to the haunted stuff, that was like, it wasn't necessarily we were like 1,000% believers the second we like had this experience, but it was so intriguing because it was one of those things that we couldn't explain. We told this story so many times, and the audio of this actually happening, the knocks, is online. So many people don't believe it because they weren't there, and we wouldn't believe it if we weren't there. And so we understand that people don't believe us when we talk about these things.
Yeah.
However, just the idea that it could be real and the idea that it could happen again is what's so intriguing, and is why we got into it. And we're like, okay, if we can just keep doing this and keep getting more and more proof, like that feeling of hope of like, okay, there is something else out there. And it is not just, okay, we're just going to live and die here on the planet.
Yeah.
It's so special.
No matter what you believe in, no matter what religion you have, it's like we realized that experience for us, it taught us that there is something else. It's more spiritual than anything. And we wanted to spread that message as well to as many people as possible. Again, no matter what they believed in.
But your roommates thought it was demonic.
They took like the Christian route. And that's, again, that's up to whoever is viewing this or experiencing it themselves. But yeah, they took it very religiously.
How did you feel? Did you feel like it was a demon, or did you feel like it was a ghost or dead people? What did you think it was?
I don't know. At the time, I definitely thought it was like a demon because these 2 guys are like yelling at me, saying like, dude, this is 100% without a shadow of a doubt like a demon. And I'm like, well, I don't know exactly what I believe in. Like, this is already like rattling my brain right now. But it was scary. And what was scarier is trying to go back into it and repeating the process. Because, like, we didn't know what we were messing with. If it was a demon, like, hell, maybe if it is all real, are we just screwing ourselves over by, like, going in all these
Are
places?
you inviting that thing into your life?
Right.
How many times did you guys go to the Queen Mary?
3, 4 times.
Yeah, 3 or 4 times.
So you went back after that.
We did.
Did you leave the roommates at home?
At that point, yeah.
We did.
Like, our final stint, which was actually last year, we hadn't gone back in 3 years, but we wanted to, like, the Queen Mary actually shut down, which was sad.
Oh, really?
I
When
think
was that?
last year. They lost, like, funding and whatever.
They might be opening up now.
They're
but, like, it was
trying to,
shut
like,
for a
raise
second.
money and, like, get it back up. But
Yeah.
So we thought this was the last time we'd ever see the ship. So we're like, let's go say goodbye to the thing that literally started this whole adventure for us. And so Colby and I went back alone
Same
to
room?
B340.
Same room, alone. Like,
Do they
repeating.
rent that room out to anybody?
They do now.
But for 30 years they didn't.
For the 30 years.
We were like the first people to get to it.
That's so
after
crazy.
30 years. But again, that's all alleged as well. Like, who knows if it's like a marketing ploy? And again, we were so skeptical that like Sam and I, when those knocks first started to happen, like we were like looking under things. We were like, this room has to be bugged.
See if you can find anything about that room. Find anything about the Queen Mary
Outside of what they have. Okay.
room 340?
Yeah, it's B340.
B340. So they told you that there was multiple murders that took place in that room?
Yeah, if you
Imagine
pull
that
up a
you guys
picture,
were just like an hour away from killing your roommates.
Oh my God. Yeah,
Literally,
like if we
You know?
kept
One
going
more
at
hour,
it,
just
like
kept asking questions.
he just turns on us. Says goodbye.
It just starts talking to you.
what the room looks
This
like.
is
That's
the
what
room.
they're-
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
God, it gives me chills.
What does it say on the wall?
so
Is
you
that
can
scripture?
Well, they have
What does it
literally
say?
experiences of each like different family.
Yeah, there's a ton of.
Oh my God! So it's like openly haunted.
Yeah, so anytime someone has like a crazy experience that they deem notable, they'll write it on the wall.
There's our
there's our
thumbnail right
thumbnail
there.
right there.
It's the Bloody Mary wall.
Yeah, and they have instructions to do Bloody. It's definitely cheesy a little bit. Like they have the Bloody Mary like
Bloody
challenge on it.
Mary. What does that mean?
So Bloody Mary is like this challenge that a lot of people used to do like as like children or whatever. You like go in front of a mirror, turn the light off, have one candle, spin around 3 times while saying Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary.
Oh, so it's Candyman.
Exactly.
Pretty
Candyman.
much,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's the evolution of Candyman. And so that's like gimmicky, obviously. But there's a
the
lot of
faucet.
stories all over the.
That's the one that turned on, yeah.
And so this room, is there any documentation that people actually died in that room?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm curious because like when we went there again, like we were very different than where we're at now. Like we didn't do like super extensive research. What we did is we like would. We'd take the article that it says it is, but obviously we're not
Right.
going back and fact checking that. And then we go and talk to the employees. And so most of our stories were all like firsthand encounters with the employees that were there, or things that they would tell us rather than,
And the employees seem to believe it.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. Every
for sure.
employee like we've met pretty much at all these haunted places are true believers. Those are the ones that said like they could see stuff following us. So yeah, people that work there like are super into like the paranormal and stuff.
That's
so.
what's fucked, right? Because there's only a handful of those people that are there day in, day out.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
Like, and you can dismiss that.
or
but-
it's like,
or it might be real.
Right, right.
That's the thing. It's just the thing that gnaws at me. It's like it's so easy to dismiss ghosts. Oh, ghosts are bullshit. But the problem is there's so many people that say they've seen it over so many years, literally hundreds and hundreds of years. It makes you wonder, because if there are multiple dimensions, and if life is, if you are a physical body that's carrying around a soul, like where does that thing go?
yeah, if energy doesn't die, where does it all
And
go?
what happens if something horrible takes place? Like there's some crazy traumatic moment, gunshots and stab wounds, and like where does that soul go? Is it possible that things get trapped
Right.
in between worlds, and that these people that work in these places or you guys
All right.
experience them?
Exactly.
Episode number 1377 with Rick Baker. Joe Rogan dives into classic horror makeup from Nosferatu to Frankenstein.
I've been a fan of yours forever, man. I was a huge Star Wars fan when I was a kid, and you inspired me when I was young, I really wanted to be a makeup artist. I wanted to do special effects and the kind of stuff that you do.
Well, I had no idea.
Yeah, man. I think it was probably Star Wars that kicked it off for me because I, like many kids, a lot of people today, we're so removed with first VHS and then DVDs and Laserdiscs and now streaming. It's so easy to watch movies. But when Star Wars came out, we would go see it over and over and over again. It was like a little contest between a lot of the kids that I went to school with. And I think I saw it 13 times while it was out in the movie theater. But I became fascinated. I've always been fascinated with comic books. I always wanted to be a comic book illustrator, and I always loved like those fantasy novels, like creepy and eerie. Those graphic novels. But I really became fascinated with special effects and particularly makeup after your work.
Well, it's kind of the same thing for me. I mean, I grew up I was born in 1950, I grew up in front of a TV, but it was a little black and white one, and there was always the monster movies on Saturdays, or Sundays, and that stuff just hit a chord with me, and I just said, I have to do this,
What was the first thing that you did?
First ever makeup kind of thing I did? Well, I mean, I'm an only child. My mom wasn't supposed to have kids because she had a bad heart and stuff, but they wanted children, but I was very shy. I stayed in my bedroom. I couldn't talk to an adult and stuff like that. Yeah. The very first thing, I got interested in makeup, and I got some just white grease paint and black grease paint and smeared it on my face. And just with a layer of grease paint on my face, when I was looking in the mirror, it wasn't little Ricky Baker anymore. And I could do things that I couldn't do without this shit smeared on my face,
Wow.
And it helped me overcome my shyness. But I mean, it started with that. But I mean, I wanted to do something more, So I ended up I made my first mask, I think, when I was 13, and it was Curse of Frankenstein. And I did that one mainly because I thought I could copy that one and make it look close enough, because there's some crudeness to that makeup. I've actually at first didn't like it, but I like it now. I mean, it's when you find out how the film industry works, and poor Philip Leakey, who did that makeup, had like a week to prep, and no money. So I forgive some of the faults with it.
Well, it's great when you stop and think about the earliest versions of makeup in movies, like special effects style makeup in movies. You go back to like Nosferatu is probably one of the very earliest, right? I mean, they really didn't have anything to go with. There wasn't anything to copy.
Yeah.
They kind of had to make it up.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is, the Nosferatu is it's a great film.
It's a great film, and still to this day.
Yeah, and the look, I mean, it shouldn't work by all.
Right.
It's like a big hook nose, and like but it works great. But yeah, and same thing. I mean, Lon Chaney had nothing to work with,
right.
Spirit gum and cotton, and he did, to this day, some of my favorite makeups and some of the best makeups. And I think the limitations in a lot of ways made the makeups work better. I mean, now we can add so much stuff, and I find that happens so much now, like with that face-off show and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
People, it's more like about how much can you pile on someone's face, but sometimes the most effective makeups are just the teeniest little bit of things that you do, and let a lot of the humanity show through.
Like Lon Chaney in Phantom of the Opera.
Great makeup.
Yeah.
That's a terrific. And Chaney was just brilliant anyways,
yes.
And great at making scary faces. That's how I learned to make scary faces, watching Chaney movies.
Yeah, and he's another one. There was not much for him to go on. He was kind of like a pioneer.
Yeah.
I mean, for sure.
And I mean, again, like I said, still some of my favorite makeups. That and, Jack Pierce's Frankenstein's monster.
Yes.
Again, crude materials, and he, it was, and poor Boris Karloff, what he had to endure. I mean, that isn't none of the makeups he did on Boris were comfortable, with cotton and spirit gum and collodion. Collodion, I don't know if you might know what collodion is because of your fight background kind of stuff, but it's a plastic. They used to use it to close up boxers' wounds and stuff. It's like kind of this liquid plastic, but it smells horrible. And, and to be working around someone's eyes with this fumes of stuff. And, I mean, he had to put up with a lot.
So it's kind of like a glue?
Yeah, it's a kind of a liquidy, plasticky stuff.
Can you pull up a video of Nosferatu? What year was that?
20, I don't know what.
1922?
22.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You stop and think about that, film itself had only been how old then?
Yeah, not very.
Not very.
But yeah,
See if you can get a video of it. Yeah. His, just the whole thing about the way he moved, like everything, it was so creepy and interesting.
Well, and the whole film, just beautifully shot. So many of the silent films, the photography is so incredible,
I wonder what they did with the fingers. Like, how'd they get his fingers?
Well, I think those are just his hands at this point. Later, in like the John Barrymore, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Mm-hmm.
I remember reading in Famous Monsters, which was again my Bible.
Right.
Did you get Famous Monsters at all?
Yes.
Yeah,
I did.
Oh yeah, you said creepy and eerie and all that.
Sure.
Yeah. They said John Barrymore did the whole transformation without makeup. And it's not true. He's got finger extensions on. He's got like a pointed back of a head. And stuff. But yeah, it's Nosferatu, brilliant.
So what did they do for his ears? Do you know?
Well, I'm not sure what they're made out of. Same with the bald head. I know rubber existed then. You can kind of see. He's got. I think it's probably just like a slip rubber, which is like Halloween masks are made out of, ears and bald head and nose.
Yeah, some sort of prosthetic nose, right?
Yeah, and those big pointy teeth. But again, if you really kind of analyze it and look at it, you think this is stupid. It'll never work, but it works great. And I also think it's because Max Schreck was great. He does some really cool things with his hands and stuff.
Well, if nothing like this existed and it was dark out and you saw a guy like that in your house, you would freak out.
Well,
I'd
freak out just if I saw somebody in my house anyways.
Yeah, someone smiling would freak you out.
Yeah.
Episode number 2389 with Sal Volcano. A ghostly hand squeeze leads Joe to joke about alien visit number 1424 with Tom Papa. Why kids see ghosts. Joe explores open senses and untouched perception.
It was weird how he had my ghost up there before I was done talking about it. You can type in Tom Papa ghost, it comes right up.
Here's the problem with ghosts, those ghost shows.
Well, yes.
Those ghost shows are bullshit.
100%.
One of those guys got in trouble recently because he made a ghost book and he plagiarized a bunch of shit.
Really?
Like blatant, like copy and paste. Yeah.
Yeah, jeez. It's theater ghosts are some of my favorite.
In theaters?
When you go perform in these theaters and you talk to the people, I always ask, do you have a ghost? Mm-hmm. Yeah. There was a little boy, I was in, where was I? Oshkosh. And there was an old theater, and the guy who runs the theater said, there's legendary, they keep talking about, there's like 3 ghosts in the thing, and they were having a cocktail party upstairs in this like cocktail lounge off the balcony, and this guy's son ran into the balcony, and he's talking with people, he goes, I gotta go get him. And he goes in there, and the kid's leaning over the balcony, talking to the stage, having a conversation with someone. He's like, yeah, no. This is my dad. What? He wants us to go down there. Who wants us to go? That guy. He wants us to go down there. And there was no one down there.
The thought about that with little kids is that little kids have not dulled all of their senses with the pressures of the world and all the other information that we carry around in our heads and all of our ideas of what's real and what's not real, and that little kids are open more, and then they can see things. Well, Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers was talking about that with his son, that his son is like, I think it was Flea.
Yeah.
His son is like tuned in to spirits in a way. And then that he was looking at it was like, maybe it's that these kids are not, like maybe we all have that in us, but it's blunted by pressures and life and the lack of sleep and responsibilities and relationships and work and
fear
and everything, and it's just, and also like we define how the world is, right? We get it in our head that these are the parameters for the world. This is how the world works, and that's it, and go to work and fucking button up your fucking sleeves and
right, this is my beliefs.
My
belief system is going to carry me through.
I mean, this is what it is. It's a fact. It is.
Liz Phair reveals why she still believes ghosts are just future science.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
That happens. I mean, I'm convinced of certain things, and then I find out I'm completely wrong.
Like
ghosts? That does happen.
You believe in ghosts?
I told you better back off the ghosts.
You believe in ghosts?
I used to believe a great deal. I still pretty much believe. Pretty much. I think basically this is my entire philosophy on all weirdnesses.
Okay.
If you look back 500 years to what they knew scientifically then, it's superstitious, it's magic, it's ridiculous, it's ignorant, et cetera, et cetera. I believe that that's exactly what we are now to 500 years in the future. So I don't consider it paranormal. I consider it future science.
Ghosts are future science.
Ghosts are future science.
Have you-
Aliens are future science. It's all future science, and I'm down for that. I'm ready to party with the future science.
I'm ready for that. I accept that. My problem is the people that tell ghost stories or those fucking ghost shows.
Those are so bad. They're so faked.
They make me
They're
angry.
so painfully faked. I really believed it for a while. Like, I really absolutely bought into it, hook, line, and sinker.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was like there watching there's all different kinds of ghosts, like the ones that look like Ewoks, or not Ewoks, which are the ones that are the first movie, Star Wars, and they like wore their little robes and they were busy. They were like,
Oh.
you know, the first ones
Right.
they're like,
What were those
we're
things?
selling robots.
Yeah.
I don't know. They didn't really have faces. They just had like cloaks.
There were the robot sellers.
Well,
Yeah.
apparently there are
Yeah.
ghosts that are little cloak creatures, and they scare the crap out of me.
The cloak ones do?
They move fast, and I don't understand what they're doing here. Like, but I mean, you can
But you
explain
believe in them?
demons. You can explain demons if you think about like dog ghosts or wolf ghosts or lion ghosts.
That's a demon?
Could be. They growl. They have like weird eyes. They're hostile. They scratch you. Animal.
So you have a real belief in ghosts? It's real.
Kind of,
Kind
yeah.
of. Like not 100%, but you have an open
I
mind.
bump into them sometimes.
For
I
real?
think. And I don't see them, but I feel them and hear them, and like, I know. Go ahead, look the little smile, that little smile. That's why I don't. We're talking about it because we're on the weirdness podcast, but like, I don't talk about it because it just doesn't get a good response.
Well, I'm trying to be open-minded. So when you I believe you. You don't seem like a liar by any stretch of the imagination. But
I have a huge imagination.
I'm sure you
so
do.
I could
You're a very
easily
creative
be
person.
tricking myself into something.
What do you feel? Like what happens?
I just bump into them. Like if you walk into a room, I mean, it happens maybe once a year.
Yeah.
And you walk into a room or you walk somewhere or something's going on and you just feel it. And it's very, very strong. And I talk to them. I just say like, mostly hotel rooms, let's just say. If I'm in a hotel room on tour and I'll either move if I don't like it, or I'll just say alone in that room, I'll be like, hi, I'm playing a show at like so-and-so. I'm only here for 2 days, but I really need to get some sleep. You can come to the I tell them they can come to the show if they want.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I'm like, this is what I do for a living. And I try to like hear and think what they do for a living.
I would be psyched if I was a ghost and I found you. I'm like, this chick's cool. She's going to invite us to a show. I don't even want to scare her. Let her sleep, man. Let her sleep. Fuck that. I got the pots and pans ready.
Right.
I'm ready to make a racket. Let's wake this chick up. Nah, man. Let her sleep. She's cool. Let's go to the show. You want
I
to go
put
to the
them
show?
on my guest list.
That's
like,
nice.
You've got a +1.
That's nice. You don't have to reserve a seat for them. They could be everywhere. Obviously, you have an active imagination. And do you think that maybe you're mind fucking yourself at the time? Like when you're talking out loud, are you doing it because it's comforting? Because you enjoy it?
Probably, but if you asked me on a lie detector test whether I think I really encountered something, I'd say yes.
Whoa.
For sure. I mean, there's been enough experiences in my life that it just seems like just part of future science.
There's a guy named Rupert Sheldrake. He's a scientist, and he believes that things have memory. He thinks that everything has memory. He thinks that's why people don't want to live in haunted houses, don't want to live in a house where someone died. He thinks that objects have memory.
I
And
agree with that.
They can't express it, but that they have it.
I agree with that.
It might be. Well, like we haven't.
I think it's less the object retaining it. I mean, it must be retaining something. I think it's more our psychic ability to perceive
The
the
energy.
past.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I think it's more like you see the chair and then you can psychically feel what happened in that chair. I'm not really sure how to, like, you're not seeing the chair imbued with some aura. You're actually looking into the past.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Because I've had dreams that were like prefiguring. And
Prefiguring.
I think you can dream, if something's impactful enough, I think you can dream. Okay, let's say something really bad happens to you. Imagine something horrible.
Okay.
I don't know, the studio explodes.
Okay.
A couple months maybe before then, you might have a dream, or let's just say something goes really, really wrong or bad. Nothing traumatic. You might be able to have a dream ahead of time that would be how you would synthesize that traumatic experience, just as if it had happened before and you were dreaming after the fact. Before.
You've had that happen?
I have.
What'd you have it happen with?
I'm saving that for my book.
Really?
Is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
But it was a very
Will you
powerful.
tell me after
very,
the show's over?
Yeah, absolutely.
I won't tell any of you. Fuck off.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, good.
But it was very convincing to me. And
Really?
hard to explain any other way.
Have you ever had any other sort of psychic premonition?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
What?
Do you remember the last big fire we had in LA when it was like encroaching? and
Really
all?
recently?
Yeah.
That one?
The night before that fire, I was out walking with my son. Again, my son, he's like all over this podcast. I don't know why, because he barely speaks to me at the moment. He's like, yeah, fine, good. Talk to you later. And I just felt incredibly uneasy. And he suffered from asthma when he was young and really badly. So when there was a lot of particulate matter in the air, or if it was just bad air conditions, I would tend to be very worried about him and keep him home, or inform the teachers or whatever it was. He'd get really bad asthma attacks. And so I have a predisposition to be on the alert. But this is the night before, no fire had started yet. And I just was very anxious, and I couldn't settle down, and I couldn't think for months. I hadn't been like that. And I said to him, I'm like, I don't know what it is, but I feel kind of unsafe. If something happens tomorrow, you have to be my witness that I sensed something was coming. Now, you probably think I'm this horrible mother. I never do this. It happens I think I've said that to him twice in our entire life. And I forgot about it. The next day, I forgot about it. I didn't think about it at all until, we were socked in this sort of brown muck as we are, and the sun became the eye of Sauron, and everyone's freaking out, and we're looking at all these images, and I was so distracted by all these images that I completely forgot my sense the night before. And what I think that was, until I remembered it, then I called up and I'm like, and I think it's more like I don't know something's coming, but I have maybe the envelope of time is a little bit more mushy than we think. Maybe we perceive time as very orderly and very linear, but maybe it's really not. And it could be pushing back, the experience. And maybe I had the experience before I perceived the experience, or I don't know what that is, but that happens to me a lot.
I've heard people describe...
Nobody likes hearing about it, by the way. I never talk about this stuff in my real life because nobody likes it.
What do you mean?
It makes people uncomfortable and they look at you funny. So I just never talk about it, except for on the podcast weirdness.
Why would it make them uncomfortable?
It just does.
I'm fascinated by that because I don't experience it. I've never had a premonition that came true. But I do have a really good ability to know if someone's crazy. I'm really good at that.
Apparently I'm not.
No, you're not crazy.
No, I don't know if someone's crazy.
You don't? You've known a lot of
really
crazy
big
people?
Blind spot there.
That's weird. You can pick out fires in the distance,
right?
But you can't pick out nuts.
Yeah, not so much.
I don't have any psychic ability though. How do
you know though?
I don't.
If you can tell if someone's crazy or not, you might have some. You might have some perception.
I think it's pattern recognition and data chunking. I've met so many people that when I see things that are off, little things that are off, and you probe, you're talking, little things are off more, and you're you're looking into the eyes, you see calculations, you're like, okay, something's going on here. This is not a normal person. This is a person putting on a normal mask. There's something off here. It just smells fishy. I just think it's that.
Do you ever have them as guests? Are they ever sitting across from you?
Oh yeah.
Being batshit crazy. What do you do?
I've had people on where I was sure they were pilled up for sure. I'm like talking to him, I'm like, this motherfucker's Adderall to the gills. Like,
What do
just
they
have
look
a,
like when they're Adderall?
They just have a way of talking. There's just something about the way they talk. They're not really. Liz Fair, that's not what it's about. It's not about me. It's about the future. It's about children. It's about the society. What I'm trying to do is be an entrepreneur. I want to build businesses. They just start. They just.
InfoWars.
No. Alex Jones, we got him high and drunk. And he was talking about interdimensional.
Here on the show,
Yes,
live on the
yes.
show? Is that what goes down here? Am
Yeah.
I like, oh, look at this. I am in a den of iniquity. Look
Yeah.
at this. We've got some like, that's some something.
That's
What is
weed.
that?
Episode number 1353 with Rob Zombie, revisiting the oldest horror classics, from Nosferatu to Frankenstein's iconic monsters.
So when you were saying that you collect films and you have films, do you go back to like the really old ones like Nosferatu?
Oh yeah, I
and
love
shit like
silent
that?
movies,
Yeah.
and now they're easier to get because I always loved Lon Chaney, but so many of the films are hard to
Yes.
get.
I was showing my kids Lon Chaney 2 nights ago.
What movie did they watch?
I was showing them the original Wolfman, and I was showing them Jekyll and Hyde. I was showing them some of the Lon Chaney Jr.
Well, Lon Chaney Jr. was Wolfman, but
original
his
Wolfman,
dad,
but
who
yeah.
was in like Phantom of the Opera
Phantom
and
of the
Hunchback of Notre
Wasn't
Dame.
he Jekyll and Hyde as well? That was Lon Chaney, right?
No, Frederick
Was that-
March.
Oh, was?
Well, it depends. There's the John Barrymore, silent Jekyll and Hyde, but you probably didn't
Oh.
show you. The Frederick March one is great. It's so perverted.
Is it
when he's
really?
like with the prostitutes and stuff. Isn't that the one you showed your kids? Like from the 30s?
Oh yeah, for sure.
From the 30s? Is that
After
what,
they watch porn.
Well, there's the boring one with Spencer Tracy.
Is it boring?
Eh,
It just
compared to the other one. The other one's because anything that's sort of like the pre-code stuff is really.
We watched
amazing.
the beginning of the Spencer Tracy one because it was so strange. There's actually when on iTunes you can watch a preview, but it's not really a preview in its old films because they didn't have previews back then. So it's just a scene, and it's a scene when he's becoming Mr. Hyde, but he doesn't look any different.
Yeah, he just kind of messed up his hair.
He just looks a little meaner,
Oh, the
like-
Frederick March one is one of the best ones ever made. It's so
Mm.
good.
But Lon Chaney was like, it was Phantom of the Opera, which is a really interesting one because he put on some really painful makeup for that.
I mean, he
film,
just
right?
invented everything. Yeah, the way the things he'd do. I mean, I don't know how much the stories have been exaggerated by publicity departments over the years, but yeah, I mean, it's just incredible. And movies like The Unknown or The Unholy 3, like you can get everything now. Forever, it was like impossible to see these movies. For a long time, I don't do it anymore, but I used to collect vintage movie posters, and that's what I would go after. The Lon Chaney silent movie posters, because a lot of times it'd be like, there's only one of these in existence, and I was like, I gotta have it. Then I realized I'm spending too much money on things.
Those old films, when I was trying to show them to my kids, I was just trying to. We were going from the 20s to the 30s. There's a movie that's the original horror film that I found out was 1920. It's actually 2 years older than Nosferatu. It was Dr. something.
Dr.
Caligari.
Caligari. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yes. Yeah, we watched a little bit of that too. But I just wanted to show them how weird it is, like the progression of film, particularly like scary films, because when my kids were real little, my wife was out of town, and I said, do you guys want to watch a scary movie that's not really scary? And they were nervous.
How old are they?
At the time, I think they were 5 and 3, or maybe 6 and 4, somewhere around there. So I
Throwing down the test. Do you want to watch it?
But I knew it wasn't going to be really scary,
Yeah.
so I put on the original King Kong from, what was that, like
1933, I think,
something
yeah.
like that. And we were laughing. I was like, let me tell you something. We're going to watch this, and it's so fake. It looks so dumb. I go, we're gonna laugh. And so we were cuddled up on the couch. They were nervous. And then once they saw the thing, they're like, that's it? That's the monster? I was like, let me tell you something, kid. In 1933, this was scary for people. They really thought this was realistic. They thought this was amazing.
Do you ever have that moment you watch something like, say, I do this like Frankenstein. Like you've seen it so many times that it's hard to watch it like you've never seen it before. But sometimes I'll be watching something and there'll be a scene where like Frankenstein's killing Fritz and there's no music and he's just screaming. And I was like, this must have fucking been so intense because no one had seen anything like this. They're watching this creature who they don't understand the makeup because no one knew how it was done. Like especially because he kind of, the first appearance of Karloff as Frankenstein, he kind of backs in and turns.
And his head's flat. He's got bolts on his neck.
The Jack Pierce makeup is so incredible that I was just like, people must have been like running for the door.
Pull up a picture of what Boris Karloff looked like in that movie. I haven't seen that in forever.
It's so good.
It was so good. Also, it's so difficult for us to understand perspective. like to put yourself in their place back then. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah,
And
I
the
mean,
lighting
like,
was incredible.
Now we're used to seeing that. It's so iconic that,
Yeah.
like, or that it becomes like. But if you'd never seen anything like that before. I mean, I guess going back to what we said a second ago, like Lon Chaney in Phantom of the Opera and his Quasimodo, you kind of
the bolts in the
saw
neck.
crazy. But that must have just been like
Fucking cables
know.
for a battery. It's so crazy. The posts on his neck. Do you remember when they did a remake with De Niro?
I do. I don't remember the movie very good.
I don't remember it either, but I remember it being terrifying looking. Like they
Yeah, he was
updated.
Yeah, he looked cool in that.
Yeah.
It's a tough one though with those movies because they got it so right the first time.
Yeah.
And the performances are like when I watch, like I really like Lugosi in Dracula, and when you watch it, I always feel like he's like Brando of that time because everyone else is like talking like, yeah, well, yeah, like they're still doing
Yes.
vaudeville and they're way over the top and they're too much, and he's like this doing this thing,
Yeah.
where sometimes you're like you almost can't understand him because of his accent. Like, wow, he's like in this whole weird head trip, and they're like doing play. Hey, listen, buddy, like the way they're talking. I'm like,
Yeah.
and that's why nobody can remember David Manners, who got paid 10 times what Lugosi, but Lugosi's like this iconic thing, like Marilyn Monroe. I mean, it just was so out of time with so special what they were doing.
Yeah, even when in the film, there's a scene where the woman had been bit, and
Yeah.
he's like, "What's wrong? What's going on?"
Yes.
And he's so corny and over the top,
Yeah.
and in that the style of that era. But Lugosi's on another level.
And like everybody, like a lot of those actors then seem very much like they were in the closet and they were trying to like play with the woman. And Lugosi has that vibe like, I'm going to fuck everything on this set before I leave this movie.
Yes, yeah.
Like he just reeks of like, I'm Hungarian and I'm going to nail every actress in this film.
Yeah, and he's a fucking powerful vampire. Like
Yeah.
you bought into it. Like he
Yeah.
was in the role. He was in the headspace.
And a lot of those movies, another good one's like The Black Cat, where like the same guy was in the Dracula's in it. He's so like swishy and over the top, and Lugosi and Karloff together are so intense. It's like there's two different movies going on. This weird Hollywood movie and this weird thing these other guys are doing, man. It's like Brando and Apocalypse Now. Like he's making a whole different movie. Him and Dennis Hopper.
Yeah. It's cool to just go back in time and see the progression of horror, to go from those films. Like I still think Nosferatu to this day is one of the coolest vampires ever. 'Cause
It's so incredible looking.
There was no sort of benchmark before him, right? I mean, and he looked so fucking weird with the long fingers, and he looked creepy. And the way he would rise, remember when they had him on a board?
Oh yeah, it just was like
and he would
straight up.
sit straight up.
It looks incredible, and I still and I love the Herzog remake with Klaus Kinski.
Oh, that's right.
Is
Werner
amazing.
Herzog did that.
Yeah, and Kinski's so like he's so perfect.
Wow,
because
I
he's such
forgot
another
about that.
crazy actor that just reeks of crazy right off the screen.
Yes, yeah. It's just hard to do a good monster movie these days. I mean, I'm a gigantic Rick Baker fan. Obviously, you see
Rick's
he's coming on
amazing.
here too.
Oh, is he?
Super pumped.
Oh yeah, his new book looks amazing.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm getting him to promote that, but when I was a kid, I wanted to be a makeup artist. It was one of the things that I wanted to do. Yeah. So I studied Rick Baker, and I studied the early Lon Chaney days, like we were talking about, and I just love the prosthetics and like Star Wars and shit like that. Which, by the way, I went to the Star Wars attraction yesterday.
Oh, you
at
did?
Disneyland. It's the shit. Woo! That fucking Star Wars ride. The ride is incredible, man. You're
It's
actually
simulated though, right?
Yes,
I
it's
can't
simulated,
do it.
but you
Simulated
you
rides
throw
make
up.
me want to just. I won't throw up, but I'll feel like I want to for the rest of the day.
It's awesome. It's awesome. So my kids were steering. They got a chance to steer. They were the pilots, and you're slamming into fucking because they have to coordinate. One goes up, one goes
really?
left and right. So up and down is one kid, and left and right is the other.
Are they
And-
next to each other in the
Yes.
cockpit, or are they
Yeah.
separate? Like how
next to each other,
Han and
pretty
Luke
close,
were?
but they're screaming at each other. Don't hit it! Oh my god!
Are there like asteroids flying
Yeah,
on something?
boom! They're hitting shit, but just the ride is fucking incredible. I mean, you could see there's so much money poured into there, and apparently there's a bunch of other ones that they're in the process of developing too.
Oh, really? Oh,
But I loved those movies, and a big part of it was like the cantina scene. if you went to that now, you'd be like, oh my god, it's obviously a mask.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like their face doesn't move, like.
It's like that weird werewolf guy.
Yeah, no, but they're not moving. You know. But back then, I was like, this is amazing. This is the
Oh my
greatest thing I've
god,
ever
I can
seen.
so clearly remember seeing that movie for the first time.
Yeah.
Because I was like, you come out of. I remember coming out of the movie like shell shocked, like everything I thought about everything just changed.
Yeah. It's
Life will never be the same.
That's another movie that's so hard to put in perspective. I've watched it with my kids now, and it's like you got to bring them back to the 1970s when this movie came out.
Yeah.
Like you don't get it. Like back then, this was fucking insane how good it was.
Yeah.
People would watch. I mean, I watched it like. I think we had like little competitions with our friends to see who could watch it the most amount of times. I think I saw it like 13 times.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. And someone gave me a Blu-ray of the original before Lucas did all the extra stuff and ruined it. Somehow they had cut together. Somebody went to all the trouble of getting like a Japanese laser, and they cut together a Blu-ray of exactly the movie as it was in 1977.
What did he do differently in the new version?
Enhance some of the special effects. He added that scene with the digital, Jabba the Hutt, and just like there'll be like the Tauntaun. That's like there's just little robots and bullshit everywhere that wasn't there in the original. And now, what seems so badass for effects in whatever it was 2000 now looks super bad. Cheesy.
So cheesy.
But the stuff from 77 still. That's why I always want to, like, you watch 2001, you go like, how can this still look better than everything?
Yeah.
These are literally models shot in 1968 or something.
Well, Kubrick knew the limitations of the visual format. And so he shot things in a way where he wasn't willing to compromise the way something looked to show you something that like sort of like the King Kong animation. Like that's the best they could do back then.
Yeah.
But Kubrick figured workarounds.
I just read this new book that came out, well, maybe 6 months ago, that's all about the making of 2001, and the book is so detailed. I wish I could remember the title of it. And it's amazing the amount of time, like it's stuff you take for granted now, just how they had to make the digital readouts on the computer screens. Because that stuff did not exist at all. So the amount of time that went into just simple background things that nobody cares about, it's just mind-blowing. And just the weightlessness scenes and how they did all that stuff, which still look amazing.
No, it's still an incredible movie, and it's also a time capsule, right? It's like it's one of those films that it's great, but it's also great and a time capsule.
Yeah, I love it because I love all of his movies for the same reason, because they take over the viewer. Like most movies, they're like you watch it and it's doing what the movie thinks will make you happy. Whereas Kubrick's doing stuff like, well, this is what it would be like to be in space.
Yeah.
This is the pace it's going to unfold at.
Yeah.
Like, which is painfully slow at times.
Well, you can't get away with that today.
No, because people are I don't know.
Rolled up.
They don't have the attention span, I don't think. And same thing with Barry Lyndon or Clockwork Orange. Doesn't matter what movie it is his. The Shining.
Yes.
Like now, if someone made The Shining, it'd go, it's great. You got to cut the first hour out of it. You know?
Too
We're
much
going to
build
start
up.
it with the red rum scene.
Yeah. Started with a hatchet slamming into somebody. Yeah.
The opening shot would be,
and then go 3 months
Scatman
earlier.
Crothers.
Yeah.
Getting hit with the axe.
Yeah, they would do that. They would go 3 months earlier. They would do that. It's cool to see though, like those films, they did what they could do with what was available. Whereas with now, the problem with CGI is they use it.
And they overuse it. And I think that I mean, CGI can be phenomenal.
For sure.
But it's a tool, and it's turned into a crutch. And I see it with actors. Like, you see actors a lot of time, and I feel bad for the actors, because you see actors that you go, I know these guys are great, but they're awful in this movie because they didn't train to stand in a warehouse that's green and pretend to look at stuff.
Yeah, right?
So they really, like when you watch The Phantom Menace, you go, why does it suddenly seem like Liam Neeson can't act?
Right.
Because he's like, they're like, look at that dot on the wall. I mean, and you know these guys are incredible actors. I was talking to somebody once, a kid that was in my movie. He was in all the Spy Kids movies. And he said it was so hard because they'd be on a green screen. They'd be like, you're looking at that. Well, we're not sure what you're looking at, but just stare at that dot and react. He's like, well, what is it? Is it a dragon or is it my mom? What am I reacting to? Like, we haven't figured it out yet. And he said he was always in a constant state of confusion as to what he was reacting to.
Well, it's hard too when you go back and you look at some of them. Like, You know what movie got it right that sort of didn't get enough respect in its time, but in time, like as time passed, it's become more respected, is Starship Troopers.
Yeah, I don't remember that movie that well.
It's it's all
I thought
like
you were gonna say
killer
Forrest
bugs. Oh,
no, but like
Sure.
like removing Major Dan's legs. I mean, that's
Yeah.
like when CG's awesome. I thought, oh shit, they found a guy with no legs who's a great actor because I didn't know who Gary Sinise was back then.
How about the ping pong scene?
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
There's a lot of like
Stuff like that's
CGI
amazing.
shit. Yeah. The what I was getting with monster movies though, it's Pat McGee. He's the guy who did that werewolf, the one that's out there.
Oh, yeah?
He'll make them for you, like he makes
Oh,
models.
really? Oh.
And we had this conversation about it. We were saying that you can see CGI, and even if it's awesome, your brain knows it's CGI.
That's funny that I have that same thought that it's something subliminally your brain knows it's all fake.
Yes, like Godzilla.
Whereas like Godzilla, like when you know it's a guy in a rubber suit crushing things, like if you watch the original one with like when they cut in Raymond Burr, there's something so dark and fucked up about that movie.
Yes.
Because everything's that's real fire. There's actually three-dimensional objects blowing up. But when it's so big and fake, like I always say, like what's scarier? A giant CG creature that you know you will never see, or like a maniac with a pillowcase over his head holding an axe coming at you. Like your brain goes, that could happen. I get it. Whereas the other thing's like, well, that's like Roger Rabbit. That's not going to happen, you know? Like, it's not, it might be cool or it might be big, but it's not.
Like one of the scariest horror movies of all time is Alien.
Yeah.
And in the first few encounters they have with the creature, you don't even see the damn thing.
Because it's, you couldn't show it that much like the shark in Jaws, but when you see it, it's like it's actually there.
Yes.
And you can feel that its jaws are right in front of Sigourney Weaver's face.
Yes.
It's not like she's looking at nothing and her eye line's a little off because it's a tennis ball and a stick she's looking at. There's something about it really happening in the space that I think people can feel it.
And Sigourney Weaver I think Sigourney Weaver in Alien is the greatest female action hero star ever, because you bought it hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
She was a scientist. She wasn't supposed to be this heroine that's out there just fucking things up and killing everybody.
And she wasn't supposed to be super hot and sexy and young.
But she was hot enough.
Because she became tough and it made her, but like the whole, I remember when Alien came out, it was kind of like when The Thing came out and all the reviews were bad, if you remember.
Was it really?
Yeah. I mean, the reviews for everything are bad when you go back and look like, oh, there's no redeemable characters, or they're all cartoon, these cardboard characters. They rip everything apart. But like it's like Harry Dean Stanton and Yaphet Kotto and every great character actor doing these great roles. But it was like now if they remade that, it'd be like everybody.
Fuck the
would,
reviews.
But that's the thing. The reviews never mean anything. They're just like so crazy.
The first time, was it Harry Dean Stanton that saw it the first time? Who was it that saw it the first time? Where they climbed down into the they climbed down the stairs and it's right there.
I don't
You only
remember.
see it for like a second, but it was a physical thing. But the point is, it was an actual guy in a suit.
Yeah.
And you knew by the way it was moving that it was an actual guy right in front of him.
And it took up three-dimensional space
Yes.
in real life, and you
Yes.
could feel it. You could,
Yes.
And I mean, just like when the chest burst thing.
Yes.
It's an actual
Yeah,
thing.
it's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's fucking bizarre.
Or an American Werewolf in London. Same
Exactly.
thing. You see brief glimpses of this thing, like really quick, like one frame, 1 second of it, and then at the end of it, you see it, even when they kill it in the hallway or in the alleyway.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. That's, you only see it for a couple seconds when it stares at her, and then they gun it down.
Yeah, that was like the heyday for effects. Everybody I know who does effects, it was like The Thing, American Werewolf in London, or
Yeah.
The Howling was
Yes,
like the
The
thing that made
Howling.
and Fangoria when that started, and
Yes.
you started really getting articles on stuff, and like
Yeah.
Rob Bottin and Rick Baker became like rock
Yeah.
stars to the horror nerds.